ExactTrack 4D constantly scans for new threats in your neighborhood, alerting you faster than ever when severe storms are heading your way.
Richard, I'm trying to eat right, but that just changed it all. We got to find the food truck.
I believe she just kicked off Fat Week. I know it's that, Thanksgiving and, no, I think now. And
it starts today.
And ice cream is tomorrow. And like you said, I could eat tacos every day.
Yeah.
I know Taco Tuesday, but every day. Maco Monday, Taco Tuesday, Waco Wednesday, you name it.
Yeah, we could just change the words around and make it work.
And I'll be there. I'm going to have to get an Instagram just so I can follow the cart. Let's go ahead and head out to, where are we there? Oh, along the beaches. It looks like the St. Johns County, the Guy Harvey Beach here is our Jax Beach, Kim. Looks like it was having a little bit of an issue here last time I went to it. So here's what we got going on outside. The radar's pretty quiet, a little bit of clutter, which is kind of surprising considering just how dry the atmosphere is here. And as we extend the view, there it is. There's the frontal boundary. A couple of spotty light showers in southeast Georgia yesterday as it passed through. Most notably, we woke up to those temperatures with a bit of a chill, and even more so overnight tonight and into early tomorrow, so we'll trickle down into the 40s. But you can see that frontal boundary and the clouds associated with it stretching all the way down to South Florida and into the Gulf. It kind of slices just south of Naples here and then moves out over the open water. Not much convection here, fair weather cumulus, and things are quiet as we look at the Gulf. What about the rest of the tropics? I've got that coming up. This is just a different version of the same idea here as we'll look at the infrared satellite and just how far out to sea that frontal boundary has moved. It does set us up as that low pressure area is moving out and high pressure is moving in. High pressure, the wind is on the outside of the high. It's very calm near the center, unlike a low. So we'll see breezy conditions here on Tuesday, sunny and cool as well as that frontal boundary will be coming through. The wind back to the northeast here for tomorrow, 10 to 15 miles an hour inland, stronger along the beaches and out over the water. And I point that out because the wording is there, but so far it looks like we're going to have nuisance to minor flooding, which could mean that you've got water standing back in those low-lying areas. So far, no advisories. If we have some, of course, we'll share those. And the humidity, very dry, 38%, as our low 70s feel like the upper 70s if you are out in the sun. All right, in the tropics across the Atlantic, a frontal boundary here moving out toward Bermuda. A little bit of convection still associated with the low. High pressure is the dominant feature. I've got a lot of wind shear that cuts through the Caribbean and into the northern Caribbean and as we get into the Gulf. So all of that is going to mean for at least over the next 7 days. And really, when I look at the models here, I'm not seeing much through the rest of November. Our temperatures outside, we've got the 60s here along the beaches. We're dropping into the lower 70s, and it looks like 73 will be our high today. In the temperature trend, we're actually going to see a little bit of a warm up from what we've had. So it'll put us those near average temperatures just on the plus side by a couple of degrees, and we'll also feel ahead of that next frontal boundary coming through a little change as we get into Friday and Saturday. But look how dry. The dark red here is where that dry atmosphere continues to come through. And like I said, high pressure will be sneaking in from the west, and that is going to give us another shot here overnight tonight and into early Tuesday of that dry air, which means it's going to be even chillier overnight as we'll clear the atmosphere out. And when you take the water out of the atmosphere, it actually loses some of the thermal properties, which allows it to drop temperature-wise quicker than what would be a moist air mass. They're the high pressures that will continue the dominance over the forecast here for the week. We do have a couple of fronts that come through, the first being a dry front, and that'll take us in through late Wednesday into Thursday, and then another front that starts to show up here on Friday, passing through our area on Saturday. That one will come with at least a 10% chance, possibly up to about 20, similar to what we saw this last Sunday. And as far as the inland areas, we could use some rain here. And remember, we're back to the new watering regime where you can do once a week. You can always hit the container plants, but as far as doing the widespread lawns, once a week here. And with the flooding possible, keep an eye on the tides if you live near any of those bodies of water. So that forecast here, 46 degrees overnight tonight under those clear skies. Temperature trend, got warming temperatures coming through. We're out of record range, but above those seasonal numbers. And just the reminder there that that slight chance on Saturday for a few spotty showers as conditions remain dry. Great grilling weather, be it tonight or the rest of the week. That is, of course, unless you find that taco truck.